Welcome to The Explainer, where we turn big ideas into clear, actionable blueprints. Today, we're jumping into something I know a lot of you have thought about, starting an artisanal candle business. We're going to build a plan to take you from hobbyist to a real, profitable business owner.
So many of us have dreamed of turning a craft into a business, and candle making, it just seems like the perfect, cozy place to start. It feels so simple, right? Melt some wax, pour it, sell it. But as anyone who's tried knows, the reality can be a little more complicated.
Yeah, because that romantic idea of just being creative all day, it pretty quickly runs into some really frustrating roadblocks. Suddenly, you're not just a creator, you're a troubleshooter, dealing with wicks that tunnel straight down, scents that completely vanish when you light them, and trying to stand out in what feels like an incredibly crowded market.
But don't worry, that's exactly what this guide is for. We're going to give you the confidence to get past all that. We'll start by finding your focus, then we'll get into turning your product into profit, and finally, we'll talk about getting your brand online and ready to sell.
Okay, so let's get right into it. This is probably the single biggest mistake that most beginners make. They get completely obsessed with the product, the wax types, the wicks, before they even know who they're selling to.
So let's completely flip the script. Forget about the wax for a second. Let's start with a person. Who is this candle actually for? And maybe even more important, what is the feeling they're hoping to create in their home?
Think about it. Are you selling to someone who wants to curl up on the sofa with a warm, comforting scent? Or is it for that clean girl, minimalist, where the look of the candle is just as important as the smell? Maybe it's for the person searching for a really thoughtful gift, or for someone who's building their own little self-care ritual. Choosing just one of these to focus on. That's your first big win.
And once you know exactly who you're talking to, everything gets easier. You can create one simple, clear promise that defines your entire brand. Something like small batch candles that make your home feel calmer at night. This isn't just some tagline. It's your North Star. It guides your photos, your product descriptions, everything.
All right, so with that focus in mind, let's talk about your actual product. We need to figure out how to make candles that people will want to buy again and again. Because, a pretty photo might get you that first sale, but it's the performance that gets you the second, third, and fourth. Now, you might be thinking you need like 20 different scents to get started. You really don't. In fact, that can be super overwhelming. This strategy here is so smart. You start with a couple of guaranteed crowd pleasers, add a couple of fresh scents, one floral, and then you get one wild card. That's your unique signature. It gives people choice, but it's still manageable for you.
And this is absolutely crucial. You have to be so careful with your language. You are selling an experience, a mood, a feeling, not some kind of medical cure. So you can totally talk about a warm and cozy feel, but you can't promise to eliminate stress. It's all about building trust and positioning yourself as a premium, responsible brand.
Okay, let's talk money. To actually make a profit, you have got to know your true cost per candle. And believe me, it is way more than just the wax and the fragrance. You have to factor in the jar, the label, the shipping box, and all those little things people forget, like payment processing fees, and yep, the cost of all those test batches that didn't quite make the cut.
Okay, you've got a focused brand, you've got a great product. Now you need a place to sell it, a place that you're in complete control of. You need a home for your brand where it can really come to life.
Now, it is really tempting to just jump on a marketplace like Etsy, right? And they're great for getting some early eyeballs on your stuff. But the problem is you're competing on price, and you're just one of many. Your own website, though, that's where you build a real long-term business. You control the story, you collect customer emails, and you make it super easy for people to reorder their favorite scent. And that, for a candle business, is gold.
And let's be honest, this is the exact moment where so many amazing creative founders just get stuck. The whole idea of setting up product pages and shipping zones and payment gateways, it can feel like a giant, scary monster. It is often the biggest technical hurdle that stops a great idea dead in its tracks. But what if you didn't have to do it all yourself? For founders who would much rather be perfecting their candle formula than wrestling with code, there are done-for-you services designed to solve this exact problem. They handle all the tech stuff, so you can just focus on your craft.
The whole idea is just to take all that pressure off you. They'll typically handle the entire technical setup, from product pages to payments, and they speak in plain English. No tech experience needed on your end.
And while pricing will vary, these kinds of services offer a really low-risk way to get your business looking professional from day one. It's definitely something to consider if the tech side of things feels like what's holding you back. So, let's bring all this together.
The most important thing to remember is that you absolutely can do this. It's not about being perfect from day one. It's just about having a clear plan and having the confidence to take that first step.
And here it is, a practical, step-by-step plan you can follow to go from planning to actually selling. Notice how it's all about focus and clarity? Choose your person, build a tight range of scents, test everything, write helpful descriptions, take clear photos, and launch with a simple, compelling offer. This right here is your roadmap to your first 20 sales.
You know, at the end of the day, selling artisanal candles isn't about being the loudest or the trendiest brand out there. It's about making a high-quality product that performs beautifully and then presenting it with care and with clarity. It's about creating something that adds a little bit of comfort or joy to someone's day. So the real question is, what story will your first candle tell?